Welcome to another episode of First Chapter Friday.
Zara Hossain is Here by Sabina Khan is the story of Zara Hossain, who is a 17-year-old Muslim living in Corpus Christi, Texas. She and her her came to Texas when she was 3, so quite a long time ago, from Pakistan. And her father came. He was sponsored by a hospital. He's a doctor. So they have been waiting, and they've been in the process of trying to get green cards. Her parents have for 8 years. They've been doing everything right. And Zara is the only Muslim in a Catholic school that she goes to in Corpus Christi. She is openly bisexual. Her parents are extremely supportive of this. And she gets into a conflict with a student there named Tyler. He's a football player, and he is pretty, his behavior is very Islamophobic. And Zara ends up standing up for somebody else, and in doing that, puts her family in kind of a precarious position. Throughout this whole narrative, Zara is navigating a new relationship with a girl named Chloe, and Chloe comes from a really strict Catholic family. When she came out to her family, she definitely was not supported by them in that regard, and they are of the mindset that she can change her mind about this. So there's a really interesting juxtaposition between the support that Zara gets from her family and the support that Chloe does not get. And they form a really strong relationship. One of the biggest pieces of this book is the immigration crisis that Zara and her family face. And I think that is a really important piece of it, because it shows how precarious that situation is for them and for a lot of people. Sabina Khan, who wrote the book, herself had a similar immigrant story. And so I think that's really written from the heart, and it makes the voices in this book very powerful. So this is chapter 1 of Zara Hossain is Here. Inhale, exhale, repeat. I focus on each breath, pushing the anger to the back of my mind. It's nothing new, this need to punch something, to rage at the world. This is my reality, and I'm used to it. That almost angers me more than the actual microaggressions I deal with daily. I concentrate on each pattern as I step, kick, and punch, chasing that elusive feeling of peace. Finally, it's there, the calm after the storm, and I stop to catch my breath. Mr. Clare's last class of the day is just finishing up, so the students are filing out of the rec center. Hey, Zara, I haven't seen you here for a while, he says, stacking the last of the boards and placing them inside the cabinet. He was my Taekwondo instructor for years, ever since I was 6 and just starting out. I'm glad Abu didn't let me quit after I got my green belt. I remember being so frustrated when I didn't pass the exam the first time that I just wanted to stop. But Abu would help me with my patterns, and Ami would quiz me on the tenets: courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. It didn't help that I used to be terrified of Mr. Clare, and that every time he looked at me, I turned into a noodle. These days, we can both laugh about it. I still go there sometimes to help him out with the white belts. But on days like today, when I feel like I might lose control, it's a sanctuary. I've just been super busy with school, I reply. I want the space to be free of all the other stuff in my life right now. Mr. Clare knows my family well, given that all 3 of us spent a great deal of time here up until I was 15. That's when I finally got my black belt. I gave him a hand with a sliding room divider, and then we start. He goes easy on me at first, just a few basic jump kicks, axe kicks, and hook kicks. Then he steps it up, and I have to watch out. I use a roundhouse kick as bait. I step into the maneuver, anticipating his counter. But I continue to spin, executing a perfect hook kick, just like he taught me. He throws me a smile. I see you haven't forgotten. Good. I smile back. Thanks for letting me hang out. He waves his hands dismissively. You know you're welcome anytime. I step out into the night and wait for Abu to pick me up. My blouse sticks to my skin and my hair has morphed into a giant ball of frizz in the 80-degree heat of this humid evening. Just because I'm used to living in a perpetual sauna doesn't mean I like it at all. Abu's BMW rolls up and I slide in gratefully to let the coolness from the air conditioning vent blast in my face. Thanks for picking me up, I say, leaning over to give him a quick peck on the cheek. Thanks for picking me up, I say, leaning over to give him a quick peck on the cheek. I was just on my way home, so it worked out perfectly, he says. Did Ami need the car today? I nod silently, looking out the window. It's almost 9 o'clock, but it's still a little light out. Wherever I end up moving for college next year, I want to go someplace with actual seasons. What's the matter, Beta? Abu looks at me before checking his backup camera as he pulls out of the parking lot. You look tense. Everything okay at school? It's not, but I don't want to worry him. On the other hand, he'll worry more if I don't tell him. Things have been weird lately, I begin, still hesitant to confide in him. Weird how, Beta? Abu turns on South Staples, passing a row of apartment buildings and a Circle K. Just some kids at school. They've been saying stuff lately, stupid things, about Muslims. The light turns yellow, then red, and Abu brings the car to a stop. He turns to me, concern deepening the lines on his forehead. Zara, you have to tell us these things, he said. I don't want you to be scared every time I go to school. You know how Ami gets. Yes, Beta, I know, Abu says. The light turns green and we're moving again, but we need to know what's happening. You know how quickly things can get out of hand. I know, Abu, and I promise I'll tell you. But let's just keep it between us, he says. No need to worry your mother. The peace I felt is gone now. The truth? I worry enough for all of us. So that is the end of chapter 1. And it's just a short introduction to Zara and her father. And you can see that she uses her kickboxing to sort of let off steam. And she has a lot that she's facing in school, a lot of microaggressions and a lot of Islamophobia. So that is the first chapter of Zara Hossain is Here, where you meet Zara and her father, and you learn a little bit about what Zara faces on a daily basis living in Corpus Christi as a Muslim. So that is Zara Hossain is Here by Sabina Khan.